The California START East Bay program worked with caregivers to improve their own well-being while gaining access to community supports and increasing supports for themselves and their children. The purpose of our study was to explore experiences of caregivers' resilience and feelings of wellness and how that influenced systemic stability. It was hypothesized that increased support to caregivers would result in significantly more happiness and resiliency. We chose to focus on 6 selected participants in the form of a case study. They were interviewed to assess the quality of life, resiliency, happiness, and systemic stability at intake and post 3 months of START services, using the START plan, brief resilience scale, and family member provider interview tool. When we looked at system stability and intensity ratings on the 2021 START plans for the caregivers selected, we found that overall system stability increased and intensity decreased at each quarter, having the most statistically significant change from intake to 12 months. Additionally, as intensity decreased, there was a correlation in reported improvement for the quality of life of that caregiver. When we compared the number of strengths identified at intake to the number of strengths identified by the caregiver after 6 months of START services, the average number of strengths increased. When our general well-being improves, we can more easily identify what is strong. Our caregiver's mean score on the brief resiliency scale indicated normal resilience upon interpretation. However, it would have been beneficial to have obtained VRS scores at intake to determine improvement or baseline of resiliency. And from the family member provider interview tool, we were able to assess what services caregivers found most supportive and how START services impacted their happiness and resiliency. Overall, each caregiver reported that START services made significant impacts towards stabilization, wellness, and creating a better outcome for their family member. Before START East Bay services, caregivers reported life as tragic, unsafe, and traumatic. START services such as psychoeducation, systemic outreach, treatment planning, and therapeutic support were reported as critical and significant to creating a life where their family member was able to thrive. Given the data, it is implicated that when access to appropriate services improves, collaboration between systems increase, and a positive therapeutic framework is implemented, that caregivers experience increased happiness and resiliency over time.
Me, not only did it strengthen me, but it gave me these moments to just breathe. And when I was breathing, I was able to take time and remember the things that I'm grateful for, not just the crisis that I was in right now.